Shocking reports coming out today that Defence Minister Richard Marles has been left out of the loop on formal updates on Australia's military readiness for 2.5 years. I mean, the AFR reports that a scathing Auditor General's report found that in 2023 and 24, Defence stopped giving Marles 6 monthly preparedness reports that outlined what units and platforms, such as ships, submarines and aircraft, were ready to be deployed into conflict or natural disaster zones. I mean, Cameron, if they're not keeping the Defence Minister up to date on this stuff, A, you'd have to ask why, but B, surely it underlines the point that if we were, for whatever reason, to end up in a conflict, that unfortunately we're stuffed.
Well, that's right. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. The Defence Minister wasn't being told and didn't even think to ask Caleb, didn't think to ask for where the 6-month report was. Look, the reality is that Marles is a defence dilettante. This is a bloke who used RAF jets as an Uber service to get him home in time from Canberra. He packs his golf clubs and gets RAF people to put them on the plane when he goes overseas. I mean, defence is not Richard Marles' strong suit, and it shows. And the defence establishment knows that too. But it's the whole thing with this Albanese government, Caleb. The Albanese government wants dialogue over direct hits on Iran's nuclear facilities. They want filibusters rather than Trump's bunker busters. I mean, this Labor Party is all over the shop on defence, all over the shop on defence, Caleb, and it just shows. And reports like this are going to be one of many, I suspect, with what's happening with the Labor administration.
You're on fire tonight, Cameron. Michael, what does it say about the relationship between the minister and the department?
Well, first of all, I'd echo Cameron's point. This is a dereliction of duty by the Defence Minister himself. Going off and playing golf, he was known in the right of the Labor Party as being lazy, but this is even beyond that. We need a general raise and cane like Trump got himself after Cain destroyed ISIS. One of the worst decisions Marles made was to reappoint all of those military dilettantes who've got us no equipment, no missiles, have stripped out the core of the defence forces in order to pay for the subs. I mean, Israel spends more on defence in 1 year than we do, with a population a third of our size. And we have no bang for the buck like they do. So I just think it's hopeless minister, hopeless military leadership. They should all go.
Well, that'd be helpful, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Michael, there are also concerns that Australia may miss out on critical missiles from the US, obviously, due to Albanese's refusal to boost spending. They asked for 3.5%. We're not coming to the table on that, because the White House still needs to approve a $7 billion order we made last year. And sources have told the Oz that they could be redirected to countries who are willing to play ball. I mean, Michael, we're just doing this to ourselves. It's insane.
Caleb, if you watched that very emotional press conference that Trump had at NATO, you would have seen the Polish-Ukrainian journalists pleading for Kiev to get Patriot missiles. Now, they're going to go ahead of the queue in front of us. They're willing to pay for them. They're willing to pay for their defence. We just can't stick with this, we'll pay for the subs on the Never Never, and what we do is strip back and cut back, minesweepers. The Chinese don't have to be geniuses. They just have to read the media to know that all of our defence bases are naked. We have no air defence, thanks to the dilettantes in the military leadership and our dilettante minister. And his predecessor was as bad too, so I should be fair to him.
Yeah, no, that's correct. And speaking of China, their ambassador, of course, to Australia intervened in our national security this week, wrote in the Oz that against Canberra boosting their defence spending. And Cameron, you've written a brilliant piece in the Nightly saying that Albanese was already doing exactly what China needed. Now he'll have to react in the opposite direction to save any face. But what's the likelihood of that, Cameron?
Well, let's see. I mean, what a shocking situation where you have a Chinese ambassador telling weak Albo to make Australia even weaker in his likeness, so to speak. No, I think this will have the opposite reaction. I mean, Albo and Wong were doing their very best to shred our relationship with the US, shred our relationship with Trump and our allies like Israel and the UK, all by their lonesome. But by China calling for us to be even weaker again, I think Australians will actually have a wake-up moment and actually say, hang on a moment, Albo, why would we be backing in China over our allies?
Yeah, it's a good point, and we've run out of time, unfortunately, but there was a great piece in the Oz from Henry Ergus talking about defence spending between Australia and Israel, and it turns out that between 2020 and 2023, Australia spent $50 billion more than Israel did, and yet I don't think you could argue that we could achieve a fraction of what Israel has been able to achieve in the last couple of years. That
Especially
tells
you saw
you
that
everything.
in that raid.
It tells you
Caleb,
everything about where we
Terrible.
are. Cameron, Michael, thank you so much for your time, both of you.